Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. One of the problems when you come to this understanding of, well, it depends what kind of understanding you come to. If it's a flat Earth realization, then then that's that. Or if it's 9/11 being a hoax, or false flags, or general people lying, politicians lying, governments taking bits of land and lying to you about it and starting illegal wars and covering up and all these types of things. The problem is where do you go for information? Now, most people get their information, well, from the media, which is the BBC, CNN, and Sky and whoever else. And a lot of them aren't always to be trusted because they have their agendas, even when they say they don't have an agenda. Some of them have government interests, and all sorts of things. Then there's YouTube, which is where most truthers, flat earthers, and etc. will go, if not now, library. But of course, that's owned by Google. And the main problem that I came across when, because the Thunder video that I put on has got got me a lot more subscribers. So I wanted to make a video for them, and I was calling out names of people, that they could go to, because, I have certain bits of information, but I'm not an expert on a lot of these things, and there's a lot of people that are better conveying the information that's needed that I've learned from. But the problem is who do you send people to? And you often hear this if you've been in this. I've only been for like a year and a half. Watching these kinds of videos on YouTube and stuff, but it's a constant message that you'll hear people talk about, like, who do you send them to? Because there's obviously, because now you've realised you've been lied to. There's this issue of trust, and you don't know who is a shill, who's a government agent, who's being set up to fall. Because a lot of the time you might get a person that is attracting people and doing really well, and then turns at the end or does something really stupid so that it negates all the followers that it has, or is just trying to gatekeep you by keeping you on a certain topic rather than expanding into or changing the system that we're in, or getting the truth spread further. Some people are in it for just ratings and stuff like that. So it's a big problem of, I know I listed out people, but I'm sure there are people out there who will say, oh no, I don't know about this person. And, then also there's the fact of personality. Obviously, when you come into the truth, it depends how you are. There are some people who are more abrupt. There are some people who get angry easier. There are some people who if you send a person to them, they might not get the message, or sometimes you have to warm to the person and understand where that person's come from, the journey they've gone through. So it's a really difficult position that I was thinking that, when I was trying to say, go to this person, go to that person, they should be able to give you more information. And I suppose a lot of it is about, you have to find it yourself, like I did. That's how I did it. I started with, I think it was, originally I looked at 9/11 videos and stuff like that. So that would have been Ollie Damigard, Jim Fetzer, and people like that. Then I moved on. I think it was Flat Earth. I think it was OBD. Was it OBD? Something like that. Was it James Nesbitt? I think. Then it was Jamie Brown. Now his channel's Real Conversations Going On. Poncho Pete. I think his now is G2G. Who else? Beyond the Imaginary Curve, Sheeps and Neeps. Who else was it? Pete Shea. And then it veered off into Steve HV, John Thor, Subtle Infinity, and lots of different ones. And it's difficult because each one has their own way of conveying the message. And some of them you think that, oh my goodness, it depends. Sometimes they have off days, as Mel Beauregard as well. Some people have their sort of off days. So if you go there one day, you probably might not learn something, and they might be just attacking, and there's a lot of all this kind of stuff because of the agenda and the place that people are within. And then the next day you'll get this wealth of information. So sometimes you have to stick around with it. It's not as easy as turning on mainstream media, where the people are vetted and they're likable and they're I was going to say plastic, but you know what I mean. They are that's the way they are. If you go watch the BBC or Sky News, they pick people who are very friendly, chatty. You warm to them very easily, but they, okay, that's a presenting style, but they may be lying through their teeth. Instantly, Tony Blair came to my mind with his big Cheshire grin smile. So at least with these people that you go to, you may have to warm to them a little bit to get to the information, but at least you're getting truth from them, So, yeah, I was just thinking about that's one of the main issues of coming into the truther movement, or the flat earth movement, as it were, is where do you go to get concise, consistent information? And some of it you may think that, oh wow, it's off-putting, but that's also sometimes because it's challenging the barriers that you have been set up with because of the way you've been programmed and the system that you're within and your understanding of things. Each person has a different path to their journey. But yeah, that is a problem. Anyway, that's enough from me. Take care, take it easy. God bless and peace.